In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to fix a toilet that is constantly running water. First thing you need to do is to turn the water off. There's a valve right there. So just turn that all the way to the right, and that will stop the water from going into the tank so you can start getting to work. Now let me show you what you have here. This setup is like most toilets that have a tank. You have a flushing system here, and how this works is, I'm going to give you a close-up. There is a float right here. And what happens is, when you flush the toilet, this tank is full of water. The water shoots down when this flapper is lifted up. And when the flapper is lifted up, the water will go through at a pretty strong pace, and the tank will empty out. And then what happens is, it's going to go into the bowl, and it's going to make a whirlpool effect, and it'll push the waste down. And that's how it works. Now, the way it works is, as the water level rises, this float will lift up. And when that lifts all the way up, it has a built-in shutoff valve which stops the water from coming through, and it reaches this level right here. So there is a sufficient amount of water in the tank that when it's flushed, it goes into the bowl and forces the waste down. Now, what's common is after a long period of time, years perhaps, it's made of rubber, it's submerged for very long periods of time underwater, it's constantly being pushed up, it's going back down to seal the opening to allow the water to rise again. Over the course of time, it just wears out from all the use that's being submitted to it. It's being pulled up, pulled down, the hinges wear out, everything is made of rubber. It gets rot, it wears out, and as a result the water starts to seep in. The whole flapper itself can't seal the water completely, and if the hinges break off, the whole thing can come off, and then the toilet is constantly going to be running water. Now if you hear the water stopping, then starting again, and stopping again, what is possible is it's not completely covering the opening, and this is a result of a hinge being broken, or the flapper is just worn out, the rubber is starting to wear away, and water is seeping its way in, and as a result, when the water level drops, the float goes down. So as a result of that, the valve opens up, and more water comes in, goes up, then there's more seepage, water level drops, this goes down again, this causes the water to go in, and so on and so forth, and that's why you hear the water going on and off every few minutes. So the solution to this problem is to replace the flapper. Now, what's happening here is you have two hinges on each side. You have a hinge here and a hinge here, and it's going around these two parts here. So this is what holds the flapper on, and this flapper is just worn out. The hinges are broken, and the flapper is corroded, and it's not stopping the water anymore as it should. Okay, so I'm going to show you. As you can see right here, it's cracked, worn out, and it needs to be replaced. So what you need to do is, you can go to a plumbing supply store or a home center and just make sure you get the right one. So just bring this with you. Yeah, this broke. This was part of the flusher itself, so this doesn't come with this. Let me take this out. And this is what you get. You get the flapper and the chain. Here's the one I have. I matched it up, and it looks very similar. If you look at the extension between the stopper that closes the water and the hinges, it's the same length. The chain is longer on this one, but that won't matter because you can take this off and you can put it on a different link to shorten it. And then of course you have 3 different holes right here. So you can put the chain around any of these holes to get the proper lift that you need when you want to lift the flapper when the toilet is flushed. Okay, so I'm going to install the flapper. So just put one hinge around that way, just push it on right onto that stem. So there's one, then do the other one. Okay, and that's it. Now, take this chain. You have to determine that it's going to lift high enough to pull the flapper all the way up. So this chain is too long. So we're going to have to shorten this because the flapper needs to raise higher. We have to let enough water to go in to flow through. So I'm going to move this chain a few links down. That should be enough. Okay. Now I'm going to attach it. Okay, so let's test it out. Looks good. Okay, so I'm going to turn the water on and let's see how it works. And there you go. No more running water. Okay, so let's flush and see how it works out. And there you go. All fixed. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please show your support for this channel by subscribing. Feel free to leave comments. Please like this video, and thank you for tuning in.